This is English 2, Section 99, Unit 3. Why are good manners important? Listening 2, Classroom Etiquette. Please turn to page 200. Let's talk about classroom etiquette. There are 3 questions in your book. I would like you to read and answer each question. Number 1, what should you or shouldn't you do in a classroom? Please think of a few things that are good or not good to do in a classroom. For example, eating, drinking, smoking. Please think of some things that you should or shouldn't do in a classroom. Question number 2. Is it important to be polite in class? Why or why not? Please answer the question and give some examples. Question number 3. How do you feel if your classmates don't have any etiquette in the classroom? Explain your answer. Remember from our last lesson that etiquette means rules. So how do you feel if your classmates don't follow the rules in the classroom? Please explain your answer. Press pause on the videotape, read the questions, and write your answers in your book. Now let's look at the vocabulary for today's lesson. Turn to page 201. 201. 9 words today. Listen to the word and repeat after me. Number 1, attentive. Attentive. Number 2, courteous. Courteous. Number 3, deal with. Deal with. Number 4, improve. Improve. Number 5, influence. Influence. Number 6, principle. Principle. Number 7, respect. Respect. Number 8, shout out. Shout out. Number 9, valuable. Valuable. Match the words to the correct definitions. The part of speech has already been completed for you in blue. Please write a number 1 to 9 by each definition. Please press pause on the video and complete the exercise. Now, let's check our answers. Number 1, attentive. Attentive. G, watching or listening carefully. An adjective. Number 2, courteous. Courteous means polite or having courtesy. An adjective. Number 3, deal with. Deal with. H, to solve a problem. It is a phrasal verb. A phrasal verb. 2 words. Phrasal verb. Number 4, improve. Improve. I, to make something better. To improve it. It is a verb. Number 5, influence. Influence. E, the power to change how someone or something acts. It is a noun. A noun. Number 6, principle. Principle. C, the person in charge of a school. He or she. That is a noun. Number 7, respect. Respect. D, consideration for the rights and feelings of other people. It's a noun. I have great respect for you. Great respect for your rights and feelings. Number 8, shout out. Shout out. F, to say something in a loud voice. Also a phrasal verb. A phrasal verb. And number 9, valuable. Valuable. A, very useful or important. An adjective. Now, for the second part of vocabulary, please turn the page. Page 202. You will see at the bottom each of the words that we just learned on the previous page. I want you to read the sentences 1 to 8 and write the correct vocabulary word for each sentence. Please note, you will not use the word courteous. There are 9 words and 8 sentences, so you will not use the word courteous. Let's do number 1 together. I apologize to show Sue I have blank for her feelings. I apologize to show Sue I have respect for her feelings. Please press pause on the video and complete the exercise by writing the correct word in the blank. Now let's check our answers. Number 1, I apologized to show Sue I have respect for her feelings. Number 2, the parents are meeting with the principal tonight to discuss problems at school. She can make new school rules to stop the problems. Number 3, parents can have a great influence on a child's behavior. They can teach by setting an example. Number 4, teachers have to deal with many difficult problems in the classroom every day. They think of many good solutions. Number 5, everyone thought that the class was very valuable. It helped them get better grades and it improved their social skills. Number 6, I don't like it when people in a meeting just shout out their comments. They should wait their turn and speak politely. Number 7, Lisa and Mark want to improve their Spanish. They go to class every day and practice often. Young children can only be attentive for 20 or 30 minutes at a time. It's hard for them to sit still and focus for a long time. Okay, great. I hope you got all of the vocabulary correct. Please correct any errors that you made, and let's get ready to do our listening exercise. Now, please turn the page to page 203. Preview listening. You are going to listen to a news report about teaching etiquette in the classroom. Teachers think that students need to learn better manners. The question is, who should teach manners? The parents or the school? What do you think parents and teachers say about the etiquette classes? Circle A or B. A, they like the classes. They feel they have a positive effect on the children's behavior. Or B, the classes are a waste of time. Kids have to learn good manners at home. Please press pause on the videotape. Read A and B and circle the answer you think is correct. Okay, great. Let's check. The answer is A. The answer is A. Parents and teachers like the classes. They feel that they have a positive effect on the children's behavior. Now we are ready for our listening exercise. Please turn the page. Page 204. First, we are going to listen for main ideas. Remember, the main idea is the most important point of the recording of what you are going to listen to. I want you to listen to the news report and circle the answer that best completes each statement. Circle A, B, or C. Question 1, the main point of the news report is that A, B, or C. Number 2, according to Marjorie Lucas, the important idea about manners is that what? A, B, or C. Number 3, the report makes it clear that what is the answer? A, B, or C. To play the listening, please put in the CD that I gave you and click on Unit 3, Listening to, Main Ideas and Details. Double-click on that and listen to it in any audio equipment, iTunes or Windows Media Player. Listen as many times as you'd like and circle the correct answers, A, B, or C. Please write your answers in your book and we will check them in class. Please now pause the video, and listen to the audio recording on your CD. After you have finished listening to the news report and completing the exercise on page 204, please turn the page to page 205. You're going to listen again, this time listening for details. Read the items below 1 to 5, then listen to the report again. Write short notes to help you remember what you hear. Let's look at the examples together. Number 1. One example of polite behavior for children around adults. The answer is use titles like Mr., Mrs., Ms. There may be more than one example for each question, so write as many as you can remember. Number 2, what is the name of the company that teaches etiquette classes? Number 3, one example of a good behavior at school. Number 4, 2 positive results from the etiquette classes. Number 5, how do the parents feel about the etiquette classes? Again, go to the CD and listen to the file, Unit 3, listening to main ideas and details. Once you have finished listening, please complete this exercise. Now, press pause on the video, listen to the recording, and complete questions 1 through 5. After you have completed the listening exercise, listening for details, please turn the page. Page 206. I would like for you to read these questions 1 to 4 and write a short answer for each question. Number 1, is it true that parents today aren't teaching good manners to their children? Why or why not? What do you think? Do you think that that is true or false? Do parents today teach good manners to their children? Are children more or less rude than they used to be? Number 2, how did you learn about manners or etiquette? Give examples. Number 3, what would Professor Forney think about companies giving etiquette classes in schools? Remember, Professor Forney was on the audio program that you listened to. Number 4, what is your opinion about today's society? Are people really ruder now than they were in the past? Do you think that people are more or less polite today than they were 10, 20, 30 years ago? Please press pause on the video, read each of these questions, and write your answers in your book. When you have completed this post-listening exercise, please turn the page to page 207. You are going to have to make a 7 to 10 minute presentation at the end of the term as part of your final exam. We will discuss more detail about your presentation topics when we return to class. For now, let's look at a speaking skill. Today's speaking skill is giving advice and making recommendations. Last week we talked about should and shouldn't. Should and shouldn't. Today, let's look at the proper way to use should and shouldn't. When you give advice or make recommendations, you don't want the listener to think that you're giving commands. To make sure the listener understands, you can use expressions like these. I think you should. I don't think you should. Don't you think you should? Maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you shouldn't. All right, let's look at an exercise so we can practice. Turn the page to page 207. 207. 4 examples here, A and B. I want you to think your friend has asked you has said to you the statement in A and has asked for advice. I want you to give advice. So if your friend says, "It's hard to get to class on time, what should I do?" You provide some advice. For example, "It's hard to get to class on time, what should I do?" B says, "I think you should get up earlier," or "I think you should not stay up so late," whatever you'd like. Please read 2, 3, and 4 and complete the B's answer with some advice. 2A says, "My homework is very messy. It is difficult for the teacher to read. Don't you think you should?" and give advice. Number 3, "Alan invited me to the party, but I don't know anybody there. Maybe you should blank, or maybe you shouldn't blank." Number 4, "My friends send me text messages when I am in class. It's hard to pay attention in class when they send me messages." Well, I don't think that you should. Please press pause on the video and complete questions 1, 2, 3, and 4. Provide some advice for your friend. After you have completed the speaking skill exercise, please turn the page. Page 209. I want you to choose one of these two topics below. Rather than asking your partner for advice, I want you to give me advice. Okay? Number 1 says, "You are going to a formal dinner at my house." Okay? Ask me for advice about what to wear, what time to arrive, what to bring, what to talk about with guests, and table manners. Write your answers in your book. Or choose question number 2. You are in charge of a committee. A committee is a group of people that makes rules. The committee's job is to improve the workplace or classroom. The goal is to encourage people to be more courteous to each other. Ask for advice about what the committee should do. So, choose question 1 or question 2, and please write some questions in your book asking for advice. Please press pause on the video and write your answers in your book. Now, let's move on to a listening skill for today's lesson. Page 210. Our listening skill today is called predicting. Predicting. Predict means to guess. To guess. As a listener, you can't always predict or guess what you are going to hear. There's no way to know what people are going to talk about at a party or what you're going to hear on the street. At other times, you can predict the topic. For example, in a class, on TV, or on the radio. In these cases, you can prepare to listen. Find out about the topic. For a radio or TV program, look at the program guide. For a class, check the class schedule or your notes from the last class. Ask yourself, what do I know about this topic? For example, if you're going to watch a TV documentary about tigers, you might ask questions like these. What do I know about tigers? What do they look like? Where do they live? Turn the page, page 211. You're going to listen to a radio program called Book Talk. Book Talk. The people on the program talk about a book called The Civility Solution. What to do when people are rude. This is the same radio program we listened to in class last week. The book is about the need for more polite behavior. Okay? Think about the question. What do you think is the best way to respond to a rude person? Please press pause on the video and write an answer in your book. What do you think is the best way to respond to a rude person? Please turn the page, page 212. Listening skill, predicting. You're going to listen to 3 separate parts of the radio program. Before you listen to each part, discuss the question with your partner. But you can't do that now, so do this on your own. I want you to predict what the speaker will say. So we're going to do this in 3 parts, all right? I want you to go to your CD and find Unit 3, Listening to Skill Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, okay? Part 1, the host of the program is going to introduce his guest. What information do you think he will include? Before you listen, I want you to write the information you think he will include. After you have done that, please listen to Part 1. Part 2, what question did the host ask at the end of Part 1? Before you listen to Part 2, answer the question, how do you think Lynn Hancock will answer this question? Then listen to Part 2. Part 3, how does the host feel about being polite when others are rude? What will Hancock say about this? Please answer this question and then listen to Part 3. Now, press pause on the video and do the listening exercise. When you have finished the listening skill exercise, please turn the page. Skip page 213. Please skip page 213. Go to page 214. You're not going to work in a group. You're going to do this exercise alone. This is practice for your final presentation. I want you to read the 5 topics here and choose one that you're going to do a short presentation on. Your choices are bad manners for eating with family and friends, bad manners for driving a car, bad manners for students in the classroom, bad manners for children at home, bad manners for riding on a train or bus. So, eating with family and friends, driving a car, students in the classroom, children at home, riding on a train or bus. Those are your 5 options. Please press pause on the video, review each option, and decide which one you would like to make a short presentation on. When you have decided which of these 5 options you want to make a presentation on, talking about bad manners, eating with family or friends, driving a car, students in the classroom, children at home, or riding on a train or bus, I want you to include this information in your presentation. Why you chose the topic, what are the examples of bad manners, why the behaviors are bad, and how people should behave. Please turn the page. This is an outline for you to prepare your presentation. You will give your presentation at the beginning of our next class. So, write your topic here. Bad manners for which of these 5? Write your answer here. Give some examples. What are some examples of things people do that are bad manners in one of those situations? Why is this an example of bad manners? Give some reasons. You are not limited to just 2, as many as you would like to include. What people should do. What is the alternate to the bad manners that you see? What would be good manners? And what are the reasons, A and B? This is the end of this lesson. Please do your preparation for your presentation on this page. We will check your outline at our next class and begin our presentation practice. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me at Arjan Michael on my Facebook page, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you very much for paying attention to this lesson, and we will see you very soon.